of the law is a big discussion right now. It always been a big discussion, even before I was born, way before I was born, actually. So why do we look at the law as something that's just a huge burden? Like, man, I'm so glad that I'm not an Israelite, or I wasn't in Israel back then, because keeping these laws, I can't do it.
Yep. You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about that question in light of how the world is responding to the coronavirus pandemic and the new restrictions that we've been given. So to use a controversial example, there are some people who insist on wearing masks and other people who insist on not wearing masks. And it's interesting because I don't know of anybody who like makes a big deal about wearing a seatbelt or, you know, driving on the right side of the road. Right. You know, we have all kinds of laws that we obey all the time. The problem with masks is that it's a new one that we would have to get used to. So I think when we come to the Old Testament, it feels really restrictive because we haven't lived in a society that operates by those laws, and they don't all seem intuitive to us. Some of them seem really odd. And so I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of person who does not like obeying a law that I don't understand.
Me too.
If it doesn't make sense to me, then I have a hard time with it. Like if it seems counterintuitive. And as we read the Old Testament law, we are having a cross-cultural experience. This is ancient culture. It's another time and place, another language. They have another system of thought that doesn't jive with ours. So we could easily be like, wow, that seems really restrictive. But I think we can take our clue from Moses' words in Deuteronomy. Is it Deuteronomy 4?
Wow, that passage right there actually changed my whole outlook on the law.
Yeah. So Deuteronomy chapter 4 tells us Moses is talking to his people about the law that was given to them at Sinai. And you and I are thinking, oh, what a drag. But listen to how Moses describes it. He says, see, I have taught you decrees and laws as Yahweh my God commanded me, so that you may follow them in the land you are entering to take possession of. Observe them carefully, for this will show your wisdom and understanding to the nations, who will hear about all these decrees and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. What other nation is so great as to have their gods near them, the way Yahweh our God is near us whenever we pray to him? And what other nation is so great as to have such righteous decrees and laws as this body of laws I'm setting before you today? So Moses is not thinking that the other nations are looking on and saying, phew, I'm glad I'm not an Israelite. Have you heard what they have to do? No, they're standing back and saying, wow, those people have got it made. They have a God who talks to them and tells them what he expects of them. They're not having to guess the way we are, how to make the gods happy and how not to piss them off. I mean, it is serious business in the ancient world not to anger the gods, because when the gods are angry at you, your kids are dying, your crops are failing, you're having, terrible disasters happen until you can figure out what did you do wrong. And it's always guesswork. And the Israelites, in contrast to that, have a God who's come and said, call me by name, and here's what I expect. And the kinds of things he's asking them to do are not radical in that environment. In fact, a lot of it is quite obvious. Don't kill people. Don't kill your neighbor. Don't take your neighbor's wife. There are so many laws that you think, well, yeah, that wouldn't have been rocket science at Sinai. That would have been the prerequisite to having a just society. And so Moses imagines that the other nations will be jealous of this law.
Well, yeah, that's a beautiful way to look at the law. And when I read Deuteronomy 4, it changed my outlook on the law. Because I was somebody who was studying the New Testament before I got into the Old, and I was so confused.
Sure.
I was confused when Jesus was talking about he didn't come to abolish the law. I'm like, what law? I was confused.
Why not?
Right. I like,
Let's get rid of that while we have the chance. And Jesus is like, no, this is good. I'm going to fulfill it.